I got Minnesota winning, man. I think, like I said, defense is just they're locked in. I think they're the better team. I think the matchup really doesn't work towards the Nuggets, regardless. And again, they are champions, so for him to having a hot night, not unexpected.
Greetings and salutations, and welcome to the Odd Coaches Podcast. I am your host, Dr. Keith Adams, and with us today on this Wind Up Wednesday edition, talking all things basketball, academic and athletic consultant for the CK Save Project, George Harker. George, can't wait to hear your thoughts. And football players aren't as tough as basketball players, right?
Look, I did. There was no way I was missing today because I know my man Cotton was on here, so we got to go ahead and have a conversation about a few things.
Hey, Captain for life, Will Cotton. Will, you have played with both guys that played football and basketball. Who's tougher? Anyway, we'll find that out later. How you doing, buddy?
We'll see. Glad George is here. Glad it wasn't just you and me, Coach. Ready to
go. All right, in segment one, we're going to do the playoff breakdown. We've got to have these conversations. In segment two, want to have the MVP conversation the right way, and the draft lottery came out. So we're not going to go through all 14 teams, but somebody's going to lose their job. And in segment three, all WNBA as the season starts this week. But first, Eastern Conference, Knicks, Pacers. Will, every time that the Knicks play in the group chat, I'm putting Harley Race and the Bounty clip on there.
The Bounty raising.
The Pacers keep showing some fight. What are you thinking about the Knicks and Pacers, sir?
It's one of the most interesting series, man. I mean, regardless of actual quality, it's been an ugly series, and those are the games that the Knicks are going to win. So if you can, missing turnovers, dropping pass, hands deflections, ugly fouls, and bad reffing. The Knicks are built like that. The Knicks are built like that. You know what I'm saying? If you want to play like that, they're gonna win. It's an exciting series, a lot of energy from both the city, the obviously the players. It's going to be hard for the Knicks to overcome a lot of the injuries. I mean, now they're just kind of running on like one leg, like even like Jalen Brunson is a little hurt. So I hope they just keep it a little better. Today they lost by like 30, so we'll see how it goes. But back to New York and see how it goes. But I'm very entertained.
George, what are you thinking about the Knicks and the Pacers?
I'm trying to figure out how every iteration of the New York Knicks come up playing the same style of basketball.
Yeah, right.
It doesn't matter who the coach is. It doesn't matter who's on the team. None of that matters. They play the same style of basketball. It's basically what we used to call. Remember when we were back on the asphalt and it used to be call your own fouls. You beat each other up, and you might. And some people were just like, I ain't calling nothing. You just hit me, and that's what they do. And, I think the problem right now is that the Pacers have found their footing. I think those two games, they weren't ready for that, for what the Knicks were going to give to them. The Pacers were not ready for what playoff basketball is like. And in New York, that playoff basketball is elevated to a whole nother level. There's no easy shots at all. And I think now that Indiana got back home, they found their footing. And the other fact that the Knicks are just suffering, man. I mean, who else is going to come off the bench is crazy.
Josh Hart's playing like Scottie Pippen right now.
So it's going to be, they playing Iron Man basketball right now. So it does not look real good for the Knicks right now. But, it's been an interesting series because of what's happening, not basketball-wise. If you're a basketball purist, you hate this series. But you hate watching the Knicks play, period. So it is what it is.
So, Will, I don't want to hijack the segment, but I had to ask you, do you foul when you're up 3? Because the debate continues. Yes or no, sir?
I think it's the safe one. Foul.
George, do you foul when you're up 3?
I'm fouling. Put them on the line.
Soon as you walk into
yep.
on it.
Soon as the whistle blows.
Stop. You win anyway. and we preach defense, but okay, I'm not going to side.
And when he hits that lucky 3-pointer that banks off the window and goes in, then it changes the whole dynamic.
That's when you
know how
momentum. Out your desk.
Yeah,
I'm not going to hijack the segment.
Momentum switches.
Yep. So, fans, there's been a back and forth with the Boston Celtics pretty much most of this season between these two fine scholars. So, in terms of the Celtics and the Cavs, Boston's going to win the series. However, Will Cotton has a theory that he's been talking about all year. Will, you have the floor. Then, George, you have the rebuttal.
Oh, it won't be long. It won't be long. Trust me. Boston should beat Cleveland, especially if Jared Allen is out and even Mobley is banged up, even without KP. I'm just saying they're so good. It kind of perplexes me when they lose those games. That's really what it is.
At home.
I would be disappointed more if it went longer than 5. If it went to 6 and even they won, I'd be like y'all should have beat them in 5 or y'all should have beat them in 4. So to me, I guess my expectations of Boston is so high that when they do lose, I'm like, y'all lost to them at home? Why? Like, wow. But then I look at the stats and it's like George said, it's like 9 out of 10 threes or free throws are like 23 out of 25 or something like that. So I don't think Boston has anything to be worried about. But if we're nitpicking, I like nitpicking and I like messing with George a lot. So, that's why I do it.
Go ahead, George.
So we're in the we're past the first round of the playoffs. So every team that's here that's still left behind is good. I mean, even when some teams are better than other ones, and because you're talking about the best basketball players in the world, you're gonna have nights where they get on just heaters. Now, the night we're in question, we had, and you saw the same thing happen in Minnesota the night, but that same night too, because we got in. Cleveland came out and went on a straight heater. What was it? 14 threes. I think they shot like 50, almost 57% from the floor. What do you do? And especially when you got one of your superstars having one of his bad nights where Jaylen Brown couldn't hit the side of a house if you paid him. I think he went like 0 for 9 from 3 because then not only is he shooting bad, but he's making bad decisions with the ball.
And he can't go left anyway. So
he can't go left anyway. Right. So what happens? You come back to the next game, and then the superstars have to come in and say, "Look, this is not going to happen. I'm going to take over." And Will Cotton's favorite player, Jason Tatum, came to work. He put the hard hat on, brought his pail and his shoes, and said, "Y'all need to stop. Y'all, Cleveland, stop this madness right now." And he shut him and he put a rest to it. So we'll see. Go back. I mean, do I expect Cleveland to have another heater night? Probably not, but. It's not out of the realm of possibilities, but they'll win. And it's just like with the Timberwolves and the Nuggets. It didn't matter what Minnesota did that night, the other night. Denver was on it. I mean, there was nothing they could do. I mean, even when they hit a 3 and they looked playing great, even when they were playing great defense too. So even when they made a good play and they got a breakaway and hit a 3, come right back, Michael Porter Jr. hit it. Or Murray.
We'll stay with you and go Minnesota, Denver. Both teams are very good. Let's get this out of the way. Leave Rudy alone. If he wants to be with his family, let him be with his family. Should Jamal Murray have been suspended? What do you think, George?
No, I don't think he should. I mean, he threw a tantrum. Give him a fine and let's go. It's a playoffs. Don't give anybody an edge.
Yeah, even regular season,
then get suspended, but not in the playoffs.
Get out them pockets.
Yeah, I want to. Yeah, I don't want to see. And this takes me back. This is a sore subject because this will take me back to the whole LeBron whining back in the finals and getting Draymond put out for he called me a B. That kind of stuff. Man, don't give somebody an unfair advantage. Just let them play it out. I still to this day don't think that they have Denver has an answer for Ant, and Minnesota plays great. Just their defense is just ridiculous. And when they got everybody there, I don't think Joker does not have enough to stay with all 3 of those big men. So it's just this is a This is a slow death for the Nuggets. Slow death
All
for the Nuggets.
right. So you've got Minnesota winning the series, George.
Yes.
Will, what do you have, sir?
Oh man, I got Minnesota winning, man. I think, like I said, defense is just they're locked in. I think they're the better team. I think the matchup really doesn't work towards the Nuggets, regardless. And again, they are champions, so for him to having a hot night, not unexpected. Especially at home. But I think tonight they're going to go out, take care. It'll be a close game, but I think they go out and they beat Denver and then kind of put the real pressure on Denver. But I see going around 6, maybe even 7 if Jokic really like catch a heater really quick. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's a great series. I love it. So.
Yeah.
Scott, man, I'm gonna stay with you as we close out this segment. OKC versus Dallas. I will readily admit Dallas is playing better than I thought they would go play. SGA was second in MVP voting and Luka's third. But man, when did Dallas start playing defense? Will, what are you thinking about that series? And you see, Mike's not here tonight, but I'm not saying that.
It's all good, man. The X factor right now is Kyrie Irving. And the crazy thing is, he is so focused right now. Focused right now. And the crazy thing is like this. I think he has now came into his maturity as a man. Now he's a father. Now he's a husband. Now all the stuff that he talks about that he was getting all these nonsense, like now he is just playing basketball. I mean, but look, 2 years ago, he was showing up to games with a walking stick and some moccasins. Now he shows up with a business suit because he knows it's time to go. I think Kyrie is changing his whole image. I'm not ready to say he's top 75 yet, but he is definitely making people notice and thinks about that decision when they made those top 75. But he's the X factor to me. He's been playing amazing. He's been embarrassing cats. So I'm all on for Dallas. Let's go.
All right, George, what do you think, man?
Oh, I'm glad Mike ain't here because he's scared. Mike.
No, it's Mother's Day taping, folks. We're just smiling.
Mike is shook right now, yo. I hope his mother didn't give him some chicken soup and rub him on the head right now because they got no answer whatsoever. Hey, look, when Kyrie Irving comes out playing defense, and see, this started last series when he was D'ing up James Harden. Now he gonna take everybody. So everybody, Kyrie's like everybody can get it, and he's giving it out to everybody.
Oh,
so just
crazy.
In space. So I'm like, I know he's doing it all. Kyrie is the best finishing little man I have seen in a long time. I got to put him right up there with Iverson and the pre-injured Derrick Rose, man. I mean, because Kyrie can get the shot. And the thing that makes him even where I got to put him up a step above, his handle is so ridiculous correct.
Uneven. I don't even like where he comes up with that stuff.
We could sit there and do a whole show on him, on how just legit he is. And
he's super talented. Super talented.
And I'm going to tell you right now, what makes him even better is that he is kind of slid into that second player notch and let Luka be the man, the front man, and he just go ahead. And so Kyrie's pulling all the dirty work. He's doing it all. So I'm
in the minority. I still think OKC's going to win, and I still think Denver's going to win. Okay. I'm in the minority with that.
Okay, I'll take that.
There's going to come a point.
I'll take that
where the series is going to be on the line. And somebody's going to have to get skinny off a screen. And I still don't think so. But, hey, I'm just a guy on the podcast.
You can't lose when Luka has 22 and you win. When I was looking when the box score, I'm like, 22? Like, that's it? He played half the court. Like, he played half the game, and they won. So,
and they hit the fourth quarter. Kyrie goes into the phone booth and put the cape on.
Oh yeah, he put him in the torture rack.
Yep. So I mean, I'll take that bet, Mr. Adams, anytime, baby.
We're saving money for the NFL
for entertainment purposes.
When we get back, we're gonna have the MVP debate conversation in a way it's supposed to be had, educated, logical. We're not gonna get emotional. That Jokic is the 3-time MVP, as Shaq only won one. We'll be right back on the Yacht Coaches Podcast.
The CKA SAVE Project is an industry leader in advocating for student-athlete, academic, and athletic needs. Through academic and athletic enrichment, the CKA SAVE Project is on the forefront of the issues facing 21st century student-athletes. As student-athletes continue to struggle to find a better balance between academic and athletic success, the CKA SAVE Project offers academic and athletic services to support student-athlete academic success, including academic skills assessment, academic and athletic consulting, academic monitoring, academic and athletic workshops. For more information or to schedule a free consultation, contact Dr. Keith Adams by email at cka@ckasaveproject.org.
All right, fans, we are back on the Young Coaches Podcast, and we're going to have the MVP debate the right way. So let's give it to you education style. Denver Nuggets superstar Nikola Jokic continued to add to his legacy. He won his third MVP. 3 MVPs in 4 seasons. You got to give it up. This is historical stuff, and it wasn't even close. He garnered 79 first-place votes. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander got 15 votes, and Luka got 4 votes. So it wasn't even close. It's not even an argument that he was elected, but let's have the conversation. George, what do you think about the selection? The floor is yours.
I always have a problem when it comes to MVP and to the voting selection. And I do because the MVP should be selected by the players. When you start letting sports writers and stuff, and I'm going to tell you this right now, this is coming from my old days of watching Barry Bonds getting ripped off and a couple other people. So why don't the people who are actually playing the game night in and night out, seeing these dudes on a regular basis, instead of we got to go to a bunch of reporters and media people who can play favorites and can do this and do that, and they'll go to the analytics of stuff. This is where the problem goes. I think Shai had a season that nobody else could deal with. His team won the West. They beat Luka and them. I mean, they beat Jokic's team out. Because he's a rookie, what happens? I don't know what the deciding factor was. I'd love to ask somebody and be like, tell me what the deciding factor was that goes to tell me that he didn't deserve the MVP or Joker deserved it over him. I mean, this harkens back. And I don't have beef with it because Joker had a great year. I just felt Shai had a better year. And this takes me back to the NBA when you're talking about when Shaq and Kobe both got screwed out of their second MVP with the whole Steve Nash thing. And I'm still trying to figure out how that happened. So, y'all can take it. Y'all can take it after that one.
Will, I got to throw this at you before you respond.
Right.
Joker is the first center in 6 decades to win MVP 3 times in 4 seasons. Here are the names: Kareem. That's the name. And then you've got Kareem won 6, Michael won 5, Bill Russell won 4, LeBron's won 4, Will Moses, Larry, and Magic won 3. This guy played 79 games. That's phenomenal in this era. Averaged 26, 12, and 9. And he's the second player to record 2,000 points, 900 rebounds, and 600 assists in a season, joining Oscar Robertson. The Nuggets posted a plus 11.8 net efficiency when he's on the court. In other words, he's impacting winning. But I'm a data guy. What do you say, Will?
A couple things. I mean, I agree with everything George says. I mean, why aren't the players and the coaches voting rather than the press and the media? You know, especially when you play in this guy in and out, night after night. I think Joker was an easy pick for the voters. I think they were ready to go through and just say, man, I'm not trying to start this whole, social media storm or anything where people are hitting me up and I'm getting death threats, all this stuff. Let me just be easy with it. And they went Joker. So, which a lot of people accepted. obviously we're on a podcast, so we have to discuss it. There was really a lot of people who even stepped out and said, "Oh man, well Joel Embiid was better." Da 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 da. Nobody really mentioned anything about that, so that was
you got to play 65 games.
Yeah, but still one of the things that I noticed. But for people
new rule
like that, yeah, but I think it was still something like pundits will be like, "Well, Joel Embiid." Da, 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 da. I'm like, yeah, but that was not even squashed. I think about Joker. Every 20, 25 years, you just get a guy who's different that you can't pattern your game around. Like, I'm going to throw some names at you guys. Kareem, Oscar, Magic, Jordan, Shaq, LeBron, guys that you can't say, I'm going to grow out, I'm going to work and be out Shaq. I'm going to go and play like LeBron. I think every now and again, because this is the best basketball league in the world, you're going to get guys that are just not explained like why it makes sense to you. But again, I think the selection was safe. I wish they were a little bit more, try to, mess around and say, oh, SGA. But a lot of the players, Shaq, I think a couple guys I know Jamal Crawford, they were talking about, oh yeah, no, SGA is the guy. So it'll be interesting to see if they even have like a split where they say, okay, well, 25, half 50% can be press and 50% can be players and coaches. Or maybe it's 33 where it's coaches, players, and press. I think it'll change a lot of things. So, but I'm not upset with Joker. I think it was just a lazy pick, and everyone just kind of said, check it.
I don't have beef with it. I just had that thing. So, and then it comes down to this. Keith, you gave off all those stats where Joker falls in with some of the greatest to ever do it. Do you see Joker as getting a seat at the table with them?
No.
If I said right now who you wanted center, do you pick Joker before you pick Shaq?
I'm not picking. Well, King.
He's not better than Shaq. He's not better than Hakeem. He's not better than Kareem.
No. That's what I want
to respond to that. And George, that is so fair. Yeah. And I'm a post player fan, for those who know. And I look at the center position way different than everyone else. And most of the coaches out there are guards. And I was a post coach, and we look at the game different than guards. But George, you're right. He might get 5 when I'm looking at my centers. But for today's game, it's kind of a microcosm and something about how the game is played, because he is unathletic. All he does is use leverage, spacing, and he was taught how to play all 5 positions because that's how he was raised up. And if you put a guard on him, he's going to pass it. You put a big on him, he's going to go by you. And yeah, you're just stuck. So he's always going to have good numbers. And
he's an enigma. Yeah. You just don't. Yeah.
Because if he played in the 80s, he'd be another, to quote Isaiah Thomas, he'd be another good guy.
I mean, he's not, he played in the 80s. Is he as good as Sabonis? I'm talking about the older Sabonis.
No, I would say
he can handle the ball better than Sabonis. But that's the fact that we're bringing up Sabonis. I appreciate that, George.
Yeah, because if you're talking about, and if I'm looking at the greatest centers to ever be in the game, and I know the game's changed and we kind of got a little positionless basketball or whatever. Even Tim Duncan made a slot for himself where we can all sit here and say, yeah, Tim Duncan's one of the greatest to ever do it. I don't know if we can say that about Joker. I don't know. Now, if you're saying that, does that mean there's something different with the league, or is it just the position? And I can't. He's not going to be. If we're pick up, I'm not picking him. That's all I'm saying. That's just where it is.
All right. So as we close this segment, congratulations to the Atlanta Hawks for winning the NBA lottery. We hope you get to keep your job, because this draft is a really weird draft, and we'll get back to that next week. But as we close in segment 3, WNBA tips off this week. We're going to have that conversation. We'll be right back on the Young Coaches Podcast.
The reviews are in for Dr. Keith Adams' book, Finding the Balance, My Personal Journey to Academic and Athletic Success. College professor and student-athlete academic expert Dr. Lisa Rubin said, "There is nothing out there like this book, so I do hope people will pay attention and give it a read. Former George Mason standout Folarin Campbell said, "Consider this book an opportunity to work directly with Dr. Adams, just like I did. I assure you that there will be something you can take away that will be useful to you throughout your personal journey." Ryan Waite, a recent college graduate who is a software engineer, said, "I like how the book is based on research, which makes it good for general students as well as student athletes." The book serves as both a memoir to Dr. Adams' 30-year academic and athletic career, as well as an instructional guide to assist student athletes, parents, coaches, teachers, and administrators navigate through the challenges of finding a better balance between academic and athletic success. The book includes over 15 personal stories and anecdotes from Dr. Adams, along with numerous former players and colleagues from a variety of sports and endeavors. You can order your copy at www.ckasaveproject.org. From the main page, simply click CKA Save Project Services and order the Find the Balance book. For more information, contact Dr. Keith Adams by email at cka@ckasaveproject.org.
Welcome back to the Odd Coaches Podcast in segment 3. Welcome to the WNBA season. This is the most anticipated season in the history of the WNBA. But before we even get started with that season, welcome to the league, Golden State, and welcome to the league, Toronto. The league has added 2 new franchises. I think they're going to stagger it. One coming next year, one the following year. George, did they pick the right 2 cities to expand to this time around?
They did, but I got a bone to pick. I'm gonna go. Let me jump on the soapbox real quick. I got a bone to pick with the WNBA. They saw this wave coming of how much excitement, how great this was going to be, and they have dropped the ball on every instance where it comes with this league. They should have been out blowing up social media. They should have had commercials. The girls should have had chartered flights. They should have seen this wave coming. And this is what we said earlier and what I said earlier. If they fumble capturing this wave, it's going to be a problem. And I'm hoping they get it back together. They did make a couple moves, but we'll see. But I'm not happy with the way it's been starting off, because this should be the best season coming out. And I'm really happy with the Golden State pick, because I think that Golden State franchise is going to get a lot. There are going to be people out there dying to see it. And the way Steph has been invested in women's basketball, he's going to give them the push. So I wouldn't even worry about them. They'll be a contender in the next 2 or 3 years. So, but they got to catch up. WNBA's got to do a better job, man.
All right, Cotton Man, they found $25 million a year to get charter flights. We have been talking about it. What are you thinking? WNBA now has chartered flights.
Man, it reminded me when I had my first son, and my mother, she came to us and she was like, "Well, I bought a new house and I bought a new car because I want to make sure that the babies are comfortable and da 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 da." And I'm like, "Where'd you get all this money from?" And I got the same question. Damn it, boy, where you get this money from? You had money all the whole time, and you could have put it out for $25 million? So I felt the same way. So I know the WNBA feel the same way. You had $25 million handed in your pocket, under your basement, under your stairs. You could have put out. Come on, let's keep it real. In the name of context, NBA couldn't have dropped him $25 million. Now, you know what I'm saying? Somebody couldn't talk $25 million. You are a parent company. You could at one point be like, well, we need to get them to where they're going to play the games, to have a chance to play and make money. $25 million is a drop in the bucket for the NBA. I'm upset that they even found this money and just like, what? $25 million? We got it. Let's go. So I'm happy they found it, but
you can't even get a good power forward for $25 million.
I feel a little, there's a bum right there in the NBA making $25 million. So I don't want to hear nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely feel a little salty, but I'm happy that they got all the travels and everything. I'm tired of seeing the pictures of them sitting in the airport with the bags and they're sitting on the floor. It's embarrassing. This league's been going on for 30 years, and now you talking about 25. You couldn't find $25 million in 30 years to get some planes? Come on, bro. What are we doing out here? But I'm glad it happened. Let's keep moving forward. I'm going to keep the energy going. Positivity is what they call about. Let's keep going, man. More things. Let's go.
All right, George, my Adidas Candace Parker was named Adidas' new president of women's basketball last week. She just retired, and now in her new role as president, she will collaborate with the brand to create a platform. She's got a platform. What are you thinking about that, sir?
I mean, it's a good thing. I mean, and I think it's a step in the right direction because Adidas is behind the 8 ball. Under Armour already had theirs. They got their platform, and Nike has theirs. It was time. Adidas wants the money. Yet you could see when you could, like we always say, if a sport starts generating money, then it becomes a priority. So now all of a sudden, and this is what I was talking about earlier, that wave was coming. You saw it. You should have been prepared for it. Nike saw it a couple years ago, and so did Under Armour, and they got on with Sabrina Ionescu out there with Nike and a couple of, and Stewie. They had a couple of them. Under Armour already had it, and they brought in Kelsey Plum, and they got the push from Steph. So yeah, Adidas had to do something to catch up to get in that market. And I think our girl just got her first signature shoe. Asia just got hers. So
and you know what the whack part is? You know what the whack part is? Nike put out a little thing there about, well, you ain't thought we forgot about Asia Wilson. And I'm like, man, you shut up.
Shut up.
Yeah. Two MVPs talking about you should have been had a shoe. Shut up.
I know.
All right. So fans, to close, the WNBA regular season begins this week. We can finally get back to covering basketball on the floor. This is a pivotal season for the W as more eyes, as George eloquently said, is on the product. Here's some advice. A good wrestling card is like a buffet. You got your appetizers, you got your snack food, you got your salad, you got your main course, and you got your desserts. Start promoting all aspects of it. The Great American Bash, when I grew up, was one of the best things that the NWA ever did because you had your Jimmy Valiant matches, George. You had your little mid-card feuds, but you always ended with a title match. So don't forget that Las Vegas is your defending champion. Don't overemphasize the mid-card and the opening matches. Spread the wealth out. I still think it's going to be New York, and I still going to think it's going to be Las Vegas. But again,
Las Vegas again.
Enjoy. Good luck to everybody. And next week, we actually get to talk about some games. So on behalf of our Cavalcade of Stars, I'm Dr. Keith Adams saying thank you for listening and or watching the Odd Coaches podcast. And we'll see you on the sidelines. Till next time, take care. And yes, random wrestling references for everybody.
The Odd Coaches podcast is sponsored by the CKA Save Project. The CKA Save Project is an industry leader in providing student-athlete academic and athletic support. From assessing student-athletes' academic and athletic skills, to measuring and monitoring student-athlete academic progress, to improving student-athlete time management and organizational skills, the CKA Save Project provides wraparound services for student-athletes from middle school through college. For more information, visit us on the web at www.ckasaveproject.org or schedule a free consultation with Dr. Keith Adams by emailing cka@ckasaveproject.org.
We hope you enjoyed today's show. The Odd Coaches podcast drops new episodes every Tuesday through Friday on most weeks. Make sure you subscribe to the Odd Coaches podcast on Apple Music, iHeartRadio, Podbean, Spotify, and YouTube. Follow the Odd Coaches podcast on Twitter and Instagram at Odd Coaches. Follow Dr. Adams on Twitter and Instagram at CKA Save Project. In addition, follow Coach Mike Francis on Twitter and Instagram at Coach Franchise, spelled Coach FRANCHIZE. For more information about the CKA Save Project, please visit them on the web at www.ckasaveproject.org. See you next time on the Odd Coaches podcast.